Hi everyone, let's do our assignment for the subject Business Process Flow Analysis 2, which will be in third semester if you're studying IT Business Analysis. So let's look at what this assignment wants from us. So basically we have to develop a QFD template which is given to you when you're doing your assignment. So basically we are an IT business analyst in this scenario, and our company wants to have auto insurance coverage. We have some other coverages, I mean insurances, but we want the auto insurance as well. So in our case, what we have to do is we will gather customer requirements and we will align those with the functional requirements. Basically, you will have everything in the template and then you have to fill out the data. So we have to gather 10 customer requirements, but 5 they've already given, which you can study if you're doing that assignment, right? So 5, another 5, I'm going to give you an example what I have taken in this case. Okay, so let's have a look on our QFD. So basically, let's understand this document. So this is your project name, date, prepared by, okay, which is Learn Every Day in this case, and then your notes. So let's understand this better. So in this, where it says customer requirements, so here we have all the requirements, the 5 that is given, and also 5 which we have made based on our research. So in this example, what I'm taking is customers want full access to their details regarding their subscribed policies, right? As a customer, I want this from auto insurance coverage, right? Similarly, I have taken another 5. I will attach this document to have a look so that you can get an idea and you can develop your own assignment and make it better, right? So I will go with the first customer requirement which I have developed. Okay, now so here you will list down all your customer requirements and then you will go to functional requirements. So functional requirements is how we will fulfill the demands of customers. I mean requirements, which is basically demands for a business, right? So let's take an example. In this case, they want our details, right? So how we will do it? The company will provide customers with the comprehensive policy document where they will have the details about coverage, premium, and terms whenever they request it. Okay, so that's how we will do this. Now let's understand what are these numbers mean. So here we have 3 numbers, 9, 1, and 3. So 9 means the particular customer requirement in the row is fully developed or related with the functional requirement which is in basically that column. So this row and column both are made for each other, so then we will assign 9. So generally it will be a diagonal because we will be writing the functional requirements for this one on the next column, right? So which is their intersection is here. Okay, so that's how we will develop. So basically in this case it will be a diagonal. In some cases it can be there, like for example this one, this requirement, this functional requirement is also directly aligning with this one, but that happens very rare. So in this case if you see, I don't have anything like that. So what does 3 mean? 3 mean it's like uh, it can be related, or it is somewhat related, so that's why we will make it 3. And 1 means they are not related, for sure. Okay, so that's how you will fill the whole diagonal. Now let's look at the customer importance. So basically, either like in a real world scenario, what you have to do, you will gather these requirements, right? And then you basically ask them as a business analyst, what is your most prioritized thing? So based on that, we will give the rating. But here, based on our common sense or by researching it on internet, you can develop this rating. So my first example, they want their details, right? So that will be their highest priority. Because as a customer, if I don't have my documents or my subscribe policy details, right? So then what will I do with that if I don't have that? So that's why I rated it 5. So you can rate it from 1 to 5, as you can see. Basically a rating scale that normally we do, right? And now let's have a look. So our raw scores will be automatically summed up when we enter these. Okay, so based on that, we will have a ranking, like which feature we should develop first. Okay, so that's how it will go. So, and now let's have a look on this field. So the target means, for example, I want this, right? So how will customers measure it? So in this case, they will use a rating scale, whether they are satisfied with the services that we are providing. Okay. So for example, let's take another example as well here. It will be like, for most of them, it is rating scale in my case, but let's take another example as well. For example, in this case, we have a functional requirement which says that the company shall send the regular updates of the queries via email and text messages. Like whenever a customer has a question, right? So we generally ask the companies, or we just have some trouble, we call the customer care, or sometimes we email them, right? So we want the regular updates. So here, let's see what I have used in my target. So in this case, I have used 1. That means I want to process all the queries within 1 day. I want to respond to them. So my upper limit will also be 1 because I want that. But my lower limit is 4. That's basically like, it's still okay if we reply within 1 to 4 days, right? So here my measuring scale is number of days, that is processing time. You got my point? What does that mean? Hopefully, yes. And then we also have the current performance. That's basically how our company is currently doing in that. Okay. So basically, when sometimes we measure something, we know, okay, this is the current performance, and then we again set the benchmark to improve it, right? So sometimes we lower it. For example, in here, if you see upper and lower spec, so that means limit, but now we have changed our limits. We are still okay if that goes from 4.8 to 5, because currently it's 4.5, although it's between this, right? But now we are becoming more particular about it. Let's take an example, okay, for anything which is underperforming. Okay, for example, this case, right? We want it to be 5 and lower limit is 4, but currently we are at 3. Now what we did, we changed our upper and lower limits now to improve that, right? So we changed it from upper to lowers. We want it from 3.5 to 4. You got my point? Now this is done, and there we have a difficulty and priority to improve metrics. So there you have 1 to 5 rating. So 1 means it's very easy, right, to improve, and priority means how important it is. For example, in this case, I want the documents, right? So what I find, it's not that easy, like documenting, because you need to prepare so many things, right? Okay, so it's not that easy, but not that difficult as well, because whenever you're signing up a coverage with them, then you can prepare that document and then you can send it over when you're done. And priority to improve is 5, because this is the first impression of the company. Okay, so based on these things, you can fill this out. Okay, and this is also done. Now let's have a look on our customer satisfaction rating. So this is how satisfied is the customer with your current performance of this feature. Okay, So this is basically, in this case, we are using it when we have a product but we want to improve it. Okay, so in this case, just take an example. Otherwise, if you're building a new product, then we don't have these fields, but we want to improve it. In this case, we already have features, so that's why we are rating it like how customers are rating this feature. Okay, so for example, they said the rating 3. Okay, so currently the rating is 3. Now we will also analyze 4 competitors. Like in general cases, we have 10 competitors. We analyze them as a business analyst, but in this case, we have just 4. So you can take any of those 4 competitors, but they need to be real. Like for example, your RBC, TD Bank, Aviva, and everyone. So anyone which offers auto insurance in Canada, so you can look for them. And then based on different rating platforms like Trustpilot and your Google Play Store and everything, you can choose these ratings. I mean, like you can group the reviews together and based on the features that we have and approximately rated features they have, so you can rate it. And so this will be automatically calculated. Okay, so basically in some cases we are performing good, but in some cases we are underperforming. So negative means we are underperforming. So that's how you have to fill this. Okay, now let's have a look how to fill this one. Okay, so in this case you have upper arrow, down arrow, and that's target. So upper arrow means we need to improve it. For some things maybe we are doing exceptionally good, we want to minimize that. In that case we will use the down arrow, which doesn't happen in real cases, so that's why I don't have it. Okay, so the target is basically we are set to the target. For example, in this case I have taken like the company should allow users to customize their deductible amount, right? So in this case, what I'm using, like accuracy, it should be accurate, right? Based on whatever premiums they have taken, everything. So in this case, we are already at 100% accuracy. Okay, so that's why we beat the targets. That's why we are good. But for other cases, we have to improve. Now, just the last thing. So this is a pyramid. So basically, what does this mean? They have plus plus plus, nothing, minus, and double minus. Okay, so these 5 things, generally 4. So plus plus means these 2 features are directly related to each other, then we will use a double plus. Okay, if they are not related at all, then we will use a strong negative. So that's basically correlation pyramid. So what it is used? It is used to group together the most related features so that we can build it in one go. Okay, so for example, in this case, if we realize, then we can say that the company allows deductible amount, right? Customized deductible amount, and we also want to send documents. So basically these 2 things are closely related, right? So at the end, that's why it's plus plus. So basically how it will go, in first row, this one will be for these 2, this one for these 2, this one, like you can see this and this. Okay, so that's how it will go for that. And then for this one, see, this needs to be analyzed for this one. In this case, just go for this one and this one. Okay, so that's how you will go for it. So basically what does second mean? If they are closely related, okay, and they are also closely related, I mean the 1 and 2, they are also related, and 2 and 3, they are also related. That means 1 and 3 are also related, but in this case it's not like that, so that's why it's not like that. But like this pyramid is basically to analyze the relation between your corresponding left column and the right column. So that's how basically it goes. For example, in this case, what will be my row and what will be my left column and what will be my right column. So this one is my left for this one and right will be this one. So we have to analyze the relationship between these two. Okay, so that's how you will fill this matrix. And similarly for customer requirements, that's also the case. But to understand it better, I will definitely attach this document with my video so that you can have a look and get an idea about it, and you can build your own assignment based on these. Okay, thank you.